Welcome back to another explainer, everyone. Today we're diving into a documentary covering literally one of the most astonishing places on Earth, the Tirupati Balaji Temple in Andhra Pradesh, India. And guys, we are looking at a total mind-bending paradox here. On one hand, you have this staggering, cold hard, verifiable wealth. On the other, sensational, completely unverified mysteries, ancient myths, and these so-called scientific anomalies that just defy all conventional explanation. It's like this ultimate collision of hard data and deep-rooted faith. So let's just get right into breaking down the reality and the lore of this incredible site. Okay, let's dive into this. 2.5 lakh crore rupees. That is the estimated net worth of the Tirupati Balaji Temple. Just to put that into perspective for a second, this single religious institution holds wealth that easily rivals the annual budgets of entire nations. Literally. We are talking about 11 tons of gold sitting in their reserves, which includes a jaw-dropping 1,000-kilogram solid gold crown just for the deity. But here is where the story gets incredibly layered, and it presents this ultimate paradox. This temple pulls in an estimated 300 to 400 crore rupees in donations every single month. No doubt about it, it is absolutely the richest temple on earth. Yet the deity worshipped here, Lord Venkateswara, is simultaneously considered by devotees to be drowning in this legendary cosmic debt. I mean, how can the wealthiest entity on the planet also be the most indebted? Well, we're going to answer exactly that. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be covering the richest temple on earth, the legend of the celestial debt, science-defying temple miracles, secrets of the hidden tunnels, and finally, the 2035 doomsday prophecy. Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 1, the richest temple on earth. And this brilliantly illustrates how wealth of this magnitude requires some seriously heavy infrastructure. The temple's assets are just staggering. 43,000 acres of land, 12,000 crore rupees locked in fixed deposits, and another 10,000 crore invested straight into the stock market. To protect the most liquid of these assets, the temple reportedly uses this high-security vault that requires 3 completely separate specific fingerprints just to pop it open. But here's the thing. This money doesn't just sit in a vault gathering dust. The temple funds massive social welfare programs. We're talking Untold, which provides free food for up to 4 lakh people every single day. Plus, they run over 20 hospitals offering free medical care and more than 300 educational institutions. It is an absolute financial powerhouse. Now, beyond all the cash and gold, the temple has a highly unique revenue stream. Devotees famously shave their heads and donate their hair out of sheer devotion. And this isn't just a symbolic gesture, guys. The temple actually processes and exports this high-quality hair, and that generates somewhere around 20 lakh rupees in revenue every single month. But you've got to wonder, why hair, right? And why so much money? Like, why are millions of people so driven to donate their life savings and their hair to this specific deity? To really understand this modern financial machine, we have to look back and understand the ancient lore. So, the crucial point is, Section 2, Legend of the Celestial Debt. The documentary explains that it all begins up in the heavens, where Sage Brigu was testing the gods and, long story short, ended up actually kicking Lord Vishnu right in the chest. Vishnu, being Vishnu, forgave him, but Goddess Lakshmi was absolutely furious at the insult. She ended up leaving the heavens and coming down to earth. A totally heartbroken Vishnu followed her, eventually resting inside a giant anthill on the Tirumala hills. And this whole sequence of events is what leads to Vishnu's earthly rebirth as a poor man named Srinivasa, who ends up falling head over heels for a royal princess named Padmavati. But here's the catch. Because Srinivasa was, poor, and he was marrying royalty, he needed an immense amount of wealth for this huge royal wedding. According to the legend, he ended up taking a massive cosmic loan from Kubera, the god of wealth, and the terms of this loan? Well, they stated it absolutely had to be repaid by the end of the current age, the Kali Yuga. So this right here is the core belief driving the temple's insane wealth today. Devotees are literally donating their own money to help their god repay this celestial debt. As for the hair, the legend actually says a princess named Neela Devi cut her own beautiful hair just to cover a wound on Vishnu's head. That prompted the deity to declare that anyone who donates their hair here will have their prayers answered. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we transition into Section 3, Science-Defined Temple Miracles. So this temple evolved across multiple empires. It started with the Pallavas back in the 9th century, expanded under the Cholas, and then got its iconic gold roof from King Krishnadeva in 1509. By 1933, the Modern Management Trust was set up to oversee the whole shebang. But let's fast forward to a purported 2018 study by IIT Madras that the documentary highlights. According to their claims, the ancient stones of the inner walls maintain this seemingly impossible, laser-precise gap of exactly 0.2 inches between them. I mean, if true, that is a level of architectural precision that totally challenges our understanding of ancient engineering. And right within those incredibly precise walls, the documentary highlights a bunch of completely unexplained phenomena. For instance, despite the inner chamber being kept at a perfectly cool 20 degrees Celsius with constant air flowing, the main stone idol reportedly sweats continuously, like priests actually have to constantly wipe it down. On top of that, priests claim they can hear the distinct sound of crashing ocean waves echoing right from the back of the idol. Oh, and the hair adorning the deity? It's said to literally never tangle or break. Even on a purely logistical level, you have to ask, how exactly do the temple kitchens produce 3 to 5 lock identical ladus, those sweet offerings, every single day with absolute perfection in weight and taste? It's wild. Then there's one of the most famous claims, that a lamp has been burning continuously in front of the idol for 1,000 years, allegedly without any oil or a wick. But applying a slightly more analytical lens here, the documentary impartially presents a really interesting counterclaim. They point to a 2017 study attributed to the DRDO, which is India's defense research agency. They reportedly concluded that the lamp actually uses this super rare Himalayan herbal oil called Amritulia, paired with a wick made from slow-burning deodar tree bark. When you combine that with a perfect ancient ventilation in that chamber, it creates this almost perpetual flame. So maybe it's less pure magic and more just an absolutely brilliant feat of ancient chemistry. Adding even more to the mystique is the logistical mystery behind the temple's supplies. The source documentary claims that all the sacred offerings, the milk, the flowers, the specific leaves they use, they all supposedly come from a phantom village located exactly 23 kilometers away from the temple. And according to these claims, this village remains completely undiscovered, untouched by any outsiders to this day, just operating in total absolute secrecy to maintain the purity of the offerings. Which leads us into Section 4, Secrets of the Hidden Tunnels. Okay, so the area directly behind the main idol, it is strictly off-limits. The source recounts this seriously chilling anecdote from 1937, where a young priest allegedly went entirely blind and lost his speech after he dared to look behind the deity. Fast forward to 2018, and the documentary attributes this super eerie quote to a head priest. Nightly, from behind the idol, breathing sounds can be heard, as if someone is alive inside. And just to add another layer of modern mystery to all this, the documentary cites a 2019 theory suggesting the stone behind the deity actually exhibits radioactive properties, causing all sorts of strange energy fluctuations. According to the ancient texts they reference, there are supposedly 7 secret tunnels sitting right beneath the temple. 3 of them are explicitly detailed in our source. First up is the Brahmastra Tunnel, which allegedly houses a mythical weapon. The documentary claims 5 British engineers mysteriously vanished right there while exploring it back in 1993. Second is the Swarna Bandar Marg. A 2018 ground-penetrating radar survey supposedly detected 500 tons of hidden gold in this one. And finally, you have the Kalapani Tunnel, which is said to be filled with this totally unidentified, blinding black liquid. Apparently, it allegedly blinded a lab technician who tried to test a sample of it in 2001. And these claims of, paranormal defense mechanisms, they definitely didn't stop in the past. The documentary really heightens the drama by citing a very recent alleged event. In January 2022, an expedition by the Archaeological Survey of India reportedly attempted to crack open one of these underground tunnel doors at 2 a.m. But according to the claims, immediately upon stepping inside, literally all their flashlights died at the exact same time. This incredibly strange hissing sound came through their two-way radios, and the expedition was just instantly aborted by the team leader. No way they were going further in. And that brings us to Section 5, the 2035 Doomsday Prophecy. The documentary points to this ancient text called the Bhavishya Purana, which actually prophesies that at the very peak of the Kali Yuga, the idol will emit light and completely change its form. Now, the source then links this ancient text to an unverified, supposedly leaked 2020 report from a NASA initiative called Project Garuda. According to the documentary's claims about this leak, scientists actually found meteorite-like metals within the rocks. They detected this unknown pulsating energy source deep beneath the mountain that's supposedly growing at 0.3% annually. Oh, and they noted that local seismographs recorded daily frequency that looks and sounds remarkably similar to the chant of Om. So this all builds up to the absolute most sensational assertion from the source material. The documentary claims that researchers extrapolate this growing underground energy is going to climax in a massive, highly dangerous magnetic storm in the year 2035. So what does this all mean? Are we looking at a genuine, suppressed scientific anomaly just waiting to erupt? Or is this simply the ultimate blending of ancient faith, internet lore, and modern fiction to try and explain a place of just incomprehensible wealth and power? Honestly, that is what you should take away from this explainer, just the absolutely fascinating way humanity builds these massive layers of awe and mystery around the things we revere the most. Keep learning, keep questioning everything, and I'll see you in the next